What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Like always, like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. Today I want to talk about a book that totally took me by surprise. I'm super hooked on the franchise now. I've only seen like one or two episodes, maybe ever, of any of it, and the wife and I started watching one of the series that was recommended by friends. What I'm talking about today is Star Trek Deep Space Nine Avatar, book 1 of 2. I read book 1 by S.D. Perry. She is an amazing author. She did a super awesome job in this book, and it floored me how good it was and how quick it took off. I was just like, I mean, I was literally tripping out. I was like, what just happened? Because I did not expect this book to be as awesome as it was. I thought there was an about author in here, but it just starts off totally action. It starts off a little bit kind of slow. In the beginning, it gives all these little summaries. So if you're new to Star Trek and know nothing about it, this is the perfect book to start with, because the first like 20 pages is all these little tiny summaries getting you caught up to speed, so you get familiar with everybody, and then about 20 to 30 pages into the actual story, it's just supreme action, and the action is good, and the storyline is super good. It's pretty complex. I tried to retain as much of it as I got. Basically, there was a prophecy made about a certain character in the book that you meet later on. You meet in the beginning, but then he comes back later, and but the prophecy isn't really about him, but he's connected to it. The prophecy is about a baby that's about to be born, and that's really all you know. And then there's apparently some bad guys that are trying to stop the prophecy from happening, but they don't know who's carrying the child. You really don't even know that much of it. Well, at least I was confused, and then I figured it out towards the later in the book. And then the battle sequences in space were way awesome. I mean, it was pretty sweet. Like, I was totally surprised. And then just the ominous backdrop of the story as it's going through, and you're meeting the characters that you meet them pretty quick, and I mean, if you already watched Star Trek and are a fan of it, then you already know the characters. But she does a good job in the book, kind of popping them in and giving like a brief little bit about each character that comes in. But the the whole the whole plot of the book, and I'm assuming book 2 will close it out. The prophets are part of this race of, I don't, they're not humans, they're Balors or something like that. I don't remember. But they're prophets. Usually their prophecies don't really come true. Sometimes they kind of do, but there's a set of prophecies that they made that have all come true. And this lady, she ends up dying trying to get that message to somebody aboard the Deep Space Nine station. And those prophecies, the investigator on Deep Space Nine, she figures out that those prophecies have all come true. And then there's the other prophecy about the child that's about to be born. And you meet all these people in the book, and it kind of leaves you on a cliffhanger waiting for book 2. So I'm super excited to get to book 2. Like I said, this book, it got bent on my bookshelf, but this book definitely just floored me, took me by surprise. I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, like the next 4. I'm following a list I got off Reddit, but I have the next 4 Star Trek books I'm ready to read. Probably gonna read them all in December, and I might read more. I don't know. I love this book so much that I just want to just dive into Star Trek as hard as I'm diving into Star Wars. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, this was Star Trek Deep Space Nine Avatar, book 1 of 2. So good. It was a 50 out of 10. It was amazing. So, and it was by S.D. Perry. Interested to read more of her works in the Star Trek universe. Hopefully she has more outside of these 2 books. But that's the video today, guys. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Later.